Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. We start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or camp, and what we teach is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Jews according to the Bible, and that our oppressor is the true devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? And we're gonna bring out some topics, of course. You understand the current topic with what's her name? Amy McGregor. Amber Guyger, Amy McGregor, whatever her name is, on how she got off scot-free. Even though she's doing jail time, true justice hasn't been served. You understand? True justice has not been served for the brother that was murdered in his own apartment. Of course, it was accusations of the brother sleeping with her, accusations of, oh, she wanted him back and he didn't want to do anything with her. But the true accusation is a brother is dead now. You understand? An Israelite brother is gone from us now. You understand? All because of police brutality. You understand? All because of somebody getting in their feelings, and all because we just want to join hand in hand with these other nations. And it was just so disgusting seeing the videos of the victim's family hugging and combing her hair and saying, oh, everything is going to be all right. We forgive you. Come on now. I mean, man, we was almost there until we shook her hand, until we hugged her, man. You understand? And we need to realize, man, that dealing with the Most High law, statutes, and commandments, it says, man, we are to be separate from these other nations. And we are not to join hand in hand with them. You understand? And this means physically and spiritually, man. You understand? Let's go ahead and go with Psalm 58:3. You understand? To see why we shouldn't be even in business with them.
The book of Psalm, chapter 58, verse 3. For lo, they lie and wait for the soul. The mighty are gathered against me.
This Psalm 58:3.
Select.
Take your time.
Book of Psalm, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
The who are estranged from the womb?
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Man, she was estranged from the womb, man. You understand? That oppressor, that killer, you understand? That murderer, it says that she was what?
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
She was estranged from birth. You understand? She knew exactly, you understand, what she was doing. You understand? They said that she was going to her apartment when she, of course, all of this is just accusations. You understand? She said that she were going into her apartment. You understand? And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm reading the articles correctly, they stayed on different floors. You understand? So, man, the Bible says she is wicked. She's like wicked and are estranged from the womb. Go ahead.
They go astray as soon as they be born. Speaking lies.
Speaking what?
Speaking lies.
You understand? And they try, of course, to justify everything when it comes down to an oppressor killing a black man or a black woman or a Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Native American man, Native American woman, man. They always try to justify a killing of, so like they always try to justify that the policeman, you understand, is always right. And it mainly comes from our oppressors. I mean, because we can dig deep into stories where so-called black cops will kill an oppressor and they get thrown under the jail. And not only that, it's not in mainstream media. What they want to do is they want to make sure that they know that we are that they are above us. You understand? But the Bible says if Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. You understand? Because this is something very, very important, very, very important that we need to realize. You understand? This is something very, very important that we need to realize, man. You understand? Because we are not below them. You understand? Let me know we got that scripture, Shalom.
Go ahead. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Go ahead.
For thou art an holy people.
You understand? Right there, man. It says, for thou art a holy people, man. You understand? Well, once again, these are accusations, you understand, that they had slept together or, you understand, like they were dealing with one another. You understand? But if that brother, you understand, knew that we are to be what?
And holy people.
And what the word holy means. You understand? When we look up the definition of holy, it means separate, man. You understand? We are to be separate from these other nations, man. Keep going.
To the Lord, thy God. The Lord, thy God, hath chosen thee.
You understand? And the Most High has chosen us, man. You understand? He's angry, man. You understand? When he sees us join hand in hand, joining hand in hand with one another, man. You understand? He doesn't want to see this because the Bible says that we are holy, man. Keep reading. Go ahead.
To be a special people.
And once again, man, we are special, man. You know what I'm saying? We are the salt of the earth, man. We have no business joining hand in hand with these other nations, man. We are the best at everything that we do, man. You know what I'm saying? We're the best at basketball, best at football.
That's right.
You understand? Best at all these sports, everything that we can think of, man. I mean, good night, man. Everything was built by a black man, Hispanic man, or Native Indian man. You understand? So why are we, you understand, as a nation, dealing with these other as a nation, why are we dealing with these other heathen nations, man? When the Most High is saying that we are his special people, man. Read.
And to himself. Above all people.
Above what?
Above all people.
You understand? Once again, like I said earlier, man, they want us to believe that we are beneath them, man. But the Bible says what?
Above all people and upon the face of the earth.
Upon the face of the what?
Of the earth.
So this means everyone. All these other nations, we are above them. And we need to, this is something that we really need to take serious. Because if the brother of the victim knew this, he would not have hugged that oppressor in the courtroom. Right. He hugged her on TV. You understand? Then you had another security guard brushing her dog hair. You understand? That white stringy hair. Just caressing her and saying everything's gonna be okay. I mean, good night, man. Where was that, man? When the so-called black man murders our oppressor. He definitely did it. You know what I'm saying? Throw him up under the jail. I mean, just so blunt and straightforward with it. Right. But her, oh no, they gotta caress her up, man. They gotta caress her up, make her say everything's gonna be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we love our oppressors so much, man. We just love them, man. Go ahead, give me any more on that? Should I? Yeah, go ahead.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in numbers than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
Let's go ahead and drop that. Let's go ahead and go to Psalm chapter 55 and verse 20, man. And verse 21. You understand? Because everybody said, oh, she was so sweet. She was so kind. They try to get her with the kind words. And, oh, this is something that she would normally do. No, man. This was within her, man. Psalm 55 and 21. Let me know when you got it.
Okay. Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
You understand? The words of her mouth is so smooth, man. You understand? So soothing to us. You understand? As so, we're in a courtroom trying to butter her up. You understand? Try to make sure that everything's okay with her because she has smooth talked us, man. You understand? She didn't got on the stand and smooth talk the jury, smooth talk every black person in there, smooth talk smooth talk the victim's family. You know what I'm saying? But keep reading.
But war was in his heart.
But what was in her heart?
War was in his heart.
But war, man, was in her heart, man, to the T, man. War was in her heart, man. She went in there and killed that brother. All because war was in her heart. All because of course, once again, these accusations, all because they were dealing with one another and he didn't want her anymore. You understand? All because of that, man.
Shit, if I may.
Oh, come on, sir.
If I may, let me get if I could in the scriptures right quick. The brother bringing out is so heavy, man. Us dealing and being a part of these nations and these other people, we put ourselves in danger, man.
Right.
Because they are dangerous people. Like, they are evil people.
Right.
And the Bible warns us about these things. Let me get Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Chapter 9, verse 13. Huh?
I was definitely gonna go there.
You got that?
No. You got it, sir.
You got it? Damn. It's a lot.
That's all good.
Okay, let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 13. You know what I mean? Like we the laws of the Lord is established, man. And they are what's going to keep us from out of these people's snares and their nets, but also what's going to deliver justice for us, man.
Right.
Following those laws is going to deliver justice for us, man. Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 13.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 13.
What?
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
Man, it said what?
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. Yeah. Like this is brotherhood right here.
Right.
Man. When you got somebody that's dangerous, somebody that's violent, you know what I mean? Somebody that's a devil, man, that the Bible speaks of, our oppressors. It says, keep thee far from the man that had power to kill.
Right.
See, Amber Guyger had power to kill. That's why Amber Guyger is going to go to jail and do a few years. That's why Amber Guyger was able to see a judge.
Right.
That's why she was able to kill and get away with it, because she had power to kill. Read that one more time up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13.
Go ahead.
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
That's all we got to do, man. Stay far from them people, man. Stay far from people like Amber Guyger. You understand? You know how once upon a time we move in a neighborhood and they say they go as a neighborhood, right. There's going to be crime and all that. Well, that's how we should look when they move into our neighborhoods. When they become our neighbors, they like this is not a good thing now that they live next door to me, because now she's going to come into your house and shoot you and go see a judge and do a little time and come home, and you never want to see your family again.
Right.
The family's never going to see you again, man. These laws and these statutes, commandments was made for us to be safe from these devils and for us to get justice for their crimes against our people, man. It's a lot, dude. You
understand? Let's read from the top one more time, and also, not Guyger, just let me know when you're ready, sir.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
That has what to kill?
That have power to kill.
That have power to kill, you understand? She knew that she had power to kill that brother when she actually went in there, man, because she seen on the news that all her brothers and all her sisters has been killing and oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and have been getting off scot-free, man. You understand? They've been getting off scot-free, man. You understand? Any more on that?
Go
ahead, read.
So shalt thou not doubt so that not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him presently, remember that thou goest in the midst of snares.
You understand? No sweat, man. You understand? I'm gonna go ahead pass the class over to Officer Guyger, Shalai.
So y'all talking about the Amber Guyger situation. Y'all watched the whole kit and caboodle from beginning to end. You know, and you know, I had a lot of things I was gonna bring out in regards to that case, but it wasn't to the very end of everything. I just had to bring this topic out. Because here's the thing, right? In the Christian church, You know, what's some of the things that we know about the Christian church, right? It's all about so-called love, all about forgiving everybody. But what's the truth about the Christian church? Go ahead.
It's a house of lies, other one.
House of lies. You know, because they don't forgive people. You understand? And what I mean by they don't forgive people, they seek every opportunity they can to destroy a strong black man.
Right.
That's all they try to do in the Christian church. You understand? Because you think about it, right? Like, what was Botham John? Botham John was a Christian, a staunch Christian at that. You understand? A very staunch Christian, and he was. You know, it saddened me to really see all the things that came out in this trial. You know, as a priest of the Most High, it really saddened me for this brother, because you hear, you got brothers that grow up every day in every ghetto across America, and the brothers that they grow up listening to, looking up to, they go off and get on TV and tell them what you want to be successful in this world, you gotta, get your shape up, cut your hair, you understand, wear tight suits, you understand, go to Christian church. Go ahead.
The best one from the Christian church is you gotta focus on yourself.
Focus on yourself. You understand? And the thing is that not only that, but the Christian church also teaches you to worship white people.
Right.
You understand? It teaches you to worship our oppressor. Remember last week, so like you brought it out about George Wilson. You understand? About how he was a Christian and how his Christian religion. What was the two things about it? Go ahead.
Sir. It was he was a devout, so like it was a Christian, and he was devoted to his master.
Devoted to his master. You understand? Devoted to his master. And I watched that whole trial. I might have missed a couple parts because it got a little boring, but I watched that whole entire trial. You understand? And I could sum the whole trial up in one picture if I could. I had to snap a picture of this. But
Was it online?
Oh,
It's not?
nah, it's on my phone.
I'm about to say I can pull it up on here and play it on the screen.
It might, matter of fact, if it's on my
Email
Facebook
it to me.
page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send it my messenger.
Okay, kind. Give me 1 second. This pretty much summed up the whole trial in one picture. I think I just sent it to you.
Who sent it to me?
UPK Dawda.
Yeah, I got it.
So this picture right here, you about to put up on the screen? You see it? This picture right here sums up the entire trial. You understand? It summed up the entire trial. And, and the reason why I say it sums up the entire trial is because really it sums up Botham John's entire life. You understand? All the stuff they brought out about his life, this pretty much summarized it all. And I was disgusted to see this. I was so disgusted, I took like 1,000 pictures of it. You understand? Because this brother here is on the stand talking about how, in his words exactly, I forgive you. He said, I forgive you. I don't even want you to go to jail. Right. And then he looked at the judge and said, can I give her a hug? You understand? This right here is the reason why black people get murdered in the streets all across America for the past 400 years.
Right.
You understand? You got the picture up? Yeah. This picture right here, this is the reason why black people been getting slaughtered for 400 years. You understand? Now, who's at fault here? We could say Amber Guyger. Amber Guyger I mean, I can't even really hold her at fault because she did what she gonna do.
Right.
You understand? That's what our oppressor does better than anything. We can expect that from him. You understand? But the whole point is, this brother went to the Christian church. This whole family, staunch Christians. He grew up in the church. Both of them started up a choir in the church that didn't even have a choir. Went to school in America and really excelled. You know what I'm saying? Started working for a school, helping people get in school and helping, he definitely did a lot for the so-called community. You understand? But yet, even when we seek justice, you understand, we still, you know what I mean? That's why nobody was really upset about this devil getting 10 years. You understand? Now, here's the thing. Where have we heard this before? Where have we heard this same conversation before about I forgive you? You understand? Go ahead.
It's like, so was that down in Charleston?
In Charleston. You understand? Down there in Charleston. They what was that? That was a Christian church. You understand? That was a Christian church, Christian members, family of the Christians, saying what? I forgive you. This was a cold-blooded murderer that walked into that church. A cold-blooded murderer walked into Botham John's apartment. You understand? And yet, we, for some reason, well, I ain't gonna say for some reason, we know the reason, but we forgive our oppressors repeatedly. You understand? Now, I want to ask a question. This is my question, right? Is that what the Bible says we're supposed to do? You understand? Are we supposed to forgive when our oppressors murder us? You understand? Is that what we're supposed to do? Are we supposed to pray for Amber Guyger and her family? Because, here's the reality. While we doing all this forgiveness, that brother is dead.
Right.
You understand? And I'm pretty sure that brother was sending a lot of money home to his parents. His parents, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they was from St. Lucia, right? Was it St. Lucia or the Bahamas or something?
I'm not certain.
Okay, well, I believe it was from St. Lucia. So I'm pretty sure this brother was sending a lot of money home, supporting a lot of other brothers and sisters in St. Lucia that was coming over to America. Go ahead,
It's like I had a precept too.
Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
Right. We was going to get to that.
It is St. Lucia.
St. Lucia, yeah. So the brothers from St. Lucia. You understand? Go ahead and read that scripture again out.
Kind, sir. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
You understand? This is in the Bible.
Right.
You understand? And how many times we hear all over the Christian church, the Christians they just love forgiving white folks. They just love forgiving our oppressor. Now here's the thing. This is what's real heavy to me. This is what stands out to me in this whole case. Y'all familiar with the rapper TK? I know Dawg familiar with it. I like TK music. I hate that the brother went to jail. I hate that happened to the brother because I thought he was gonna be one of these new school rappers that I was gonna listen to.
Right.
You understand? But TK was, how old was TK? 17 when he got locked up?
17.
I think this brother was 17 years old. Now I'm just gonna keep it simple. He went in somebody's house illegally and shot them and killed them.
Right.
Unintentionally. Go ahead.
Like, sir, he didn't even shoot nobody.
Right. He didn't even do the shit. He wasn't even the trigger man. How many years he got? He got 55 years.
Years, bro.
That's the state of Texas. The state of Texas charged this young man with capital murder and gave him 55 years.
Okay.
You understand? That's a young black man who killed another black man. Now here's my problem. Where was the forgiveness on that day?
Right.
I didn't see nobody saying, I forgive you. I don't even want you to go to jail. You understand? But yet, when the Amber Guyger, we still got that picture up?
Nah, you want to put it back up?
Barbecue shop. You understand? But yet, when Amber Guyger walked into both of them.
I just sent you another one, too.
What was that?
I sent you another one, too. I think it's the judge hugging her now.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Put that one up, too. Either one, huh?
Hey, it don't even matter. Put the picture of the sister playing with the double hair. You understand? This whole trial was disgusting.
Yeah.
You understand? Now here's something else too. You understand? Well, you know, did anybody watch the trial? Did anybody? I watched it like the Super Bowl. You know, I was glued to the trial. I was trying to see how much time she was gonna get. You understand? As soon as they said she was guilty, I was glued to it. And you understand? It's like all throughout the whole court case, you see the sister, the police officer sister, the bailiff. I guess what I don't know the proper term for it, but the bailiff walks up and is fixing the double hair while she getting ready to get sentenced. You understand? Making sure she all pretty and beautiful or whatever. You understand? And so the judge, even after the sentencing, the judge went and gave the devil a Bible. Told her, read the book of Job. It's gonna help you get through this. She ain't give the family no Bible.
Right.
You understand? She ain't give them no Bible. Talking about read the book of what's that scripture again now? She ain't tell them to read this. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
No, so like I said,
Go ahead.
the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
You understand? See, this is where the Christian church has failed black people.
Right.
You understand? Because if we look consistently at trials where our oppressors kills an innocent black man, black people are quick to forgive. Now, I ain't gonna say the same about the street. I ain't gonna say black people. I'm gonna say Christians.
Right.
Because I can't necessarily call the streets Christian. They can't necessarily be in that category because the streets don't forgive Amber Guyger. You understand? But I'm not gonna necessarily say that they're more righteous than the other. But unanimously, case after case, where an innocent black man or woman or child senselessly loses their life at the hands of one of these devils, we consistently want to forgive. I don't know what it is. It's like, what we gonna do? Just give them so much love that they gonna eventually love us back? Is that how that works? You know what I'm saying? If this was a woman, they would have filed restraining order.
Right.
You understand? I don't want to be with you, but I love you.
Right.
You understand? I'm going to call the police, but I'm obsessed with you. You understand? That it don't work like that. You understand? So the thing is that in our Christian church, they teach us to love our enemies, to love our oppressors, to forgive our oppressors, to get over slavery. You understand? They teach you to be selfish because the Christian church, they coming up with all that stuff off the top of their head. You understand? They thinking, they following after they lust. They like, hey, if you're broken and struggling, I guess the only thing you can do is be selfish. Get your own money. Stab your own brother in the back. Hate your brother. Hate the black man. Hate the black woman. Put that man on child support. You understand? The Christian church do not teach forgiveness for black people.
Right.
Because nobody, like I said, nobody stood up in TK trial and said, I forgive you, TK.
Right.
Nobody did that. Nobody was even at his sentencing saying, can I give him a hug? It's a 17-year-old brother who didn't shoot nobody. About to do 55 years because he chose to do what Tekashi 6ix9ine chose not to do.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Nobody stood up and said, I forgive you, TK. But yet we giving Amber Guyger hugs on live TV. You understand? Read that scripture again.
Kind of one kind, sir. The book of Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
Never what?
Never trust thy enemy.
The Bible says to never trust thine enemy. We should never have trusted thine enemy. You understand? When you want to live in an area that is filled, you know how black people get a little bit of money, they move out the hood. You understand? If I had some money, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm cheap. Buy me make a little block in the hood, put a big old fence around it, and build me a stupid crib right there in the ghetto.
Right.
You understand? Hey, I probably spend half as much building me a stupid crib in the ghetto than I would building it next to Becky and Daniel and Christopher. You understand? But the thing is that we do that because it's like if you could hold that scripture up. Give me the scripture which says you can't serve two masters. Give me that scripture up. Anybody get it for me? Give me Matthew chapter 6 verse 24. Go ahead.
Book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
No man can what?
Serve two masters.
You understand? What does that mean? No man can serve two masters. What does that mean? Does that mean you can't work two jobs? You know, because I can't have two supervisors. Can't work at Old Charlie's and Chick-fil-A. You understand? What does that mean? No man can serve two masters. Go ahead.
It's like, so you can't worship like two different people.
Okay. What you mean?
Like for instance, in the Christian church they tell you to love Christ, but they actually love white people.
Right. And Christ was what? Christ was a black man.
Right.
You understand? So here we go. Scripture say you can't serve two masters. You know, master in this context is basically, you know, the scripture say whatsoever ye yield your members to, ye servants ye are.
Right.
So if you are a crackhead, you smoke crack. You understand? You yield your members to that crack, meaning the things that you do with your members, your fingers, your hands, your toes, your feet. You do that with the goal of gaining crack rock so that you can smoke that crack rock. So you can't say you love crack rock and you love your family. You understand? That's why it says no man can serve two masters. In the context of what I'm bringing out, that's basically a man who loves white people versus a man who loves black people. You can't love both. You understand?
Right.
Read that scripture again from the top.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Marta.
Book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
How many men?
No man.
100 men.
No man.
Every man.
No man.
It says no man. You understand? And that right there is a cut to anybody who says they can love white people and black people at the same time. Say God is all colors. God is all love and blase, blase, blah, and forgive and forgive and forgive. But this scripture says no man can serve two masters, meaning that you as one man, you are not capable of it. You understand? Why are you not capable of it? Read on.
For either he will hate the one.
He will do what?
Either he will hate the one and love the other.
You understand? He will either hate the one and love the other. You understand? And this is the point that I'm bringing out about the Christian church.
Right.
About them teaching is to forgive our oppressors. You understand? Because they love our oppressors. That is what if they telling you to forgive our oppressor, then they love our oppressor.
Right.
And what does this scripture say? If they love our oppressor, what are they going to do with black people? Read on.
Or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
He will hold to white people and despise black people.
Right.
That's Kanye West.
Right.
You understand? Like Kanye West, he said it in his own song. When you get on, he gonna leave for a white girl. You understand? That's every black person that gets money. What's the first thing they do when they get $1 million check? Move out the ghetto and move right into Palm Springs. You understand? That's what they do. You understand? And why do they do that? Why do they move out of the black neighborhood? You understand? When it's a whole lot, you can get the same, you can build the same size, if not bigger house in the ghetto. Go ahead.
Because they envying the oppressor.
They are envying the oppressor. You understand? But, you know, it's simple. It's what, you know, I'm asking for a little different answer. You understand? A little deeper than that. I know they do envy the oppressor. But if they envy, but even in envying the oppressor, you understand? Where does that leave black people? Go ahead.
It's like saying with no one to love for them.
Nobody to love black people. You understand? Who's gonna love black people? Who is gonna love TK?
Right.
Who loved TK when he was on trial for capital murder? Capital murder, you know, capital murder is what they put you to death for in Texas.
Right.
You understand? They charged this, they found him guilty of capital murder. They wanted to put him to death. Go ahead, Op.
And if I could also as well too, I mean, when a black man gets on and he goes out to a rich neighborhood, that just seeks us as far as a black community in the hood even deeper, because he's paying white people taxes. Mm-hmm. He's not building what could be possibly our own food garden, our own grocery store. Right. Instead, we got the Arabs on every corner, but they stayed way out in the west. Oh yeah, you understand? And that could have been that black man owning those corner stores or owning that food market, owning those gardens. Right. But instead, like everybody been saying, he goes out to live with the white people. Right. Right. And it really, you know, if you think about it like this, if you are a chicken lover, like myself, I love chicken. Right. You understand? No place on the planet makes chicken like a black restaurant. Right. You understand? It's just something about the brothers and the sisters, man. Right. Something about the way they just love the chicken. It's like they just know what to do to the chicken. If you are a rich man, a rich black man that came up in the hood, and the first thing you do is you take that money and you move out the hood, and all you do is pay all this extra money. Because, like, you know, a lot of times, you know, brothers will move out to these rich white neighborhoods, and they'll apply for loans on houses. They'll get denied on loans on houses, and they got A1 credit. Right. They get denied just off a GP that we don't want black people over in this neighborhood. What's the name? Oprah Winfrey. Right? Oprah Winfrey tried to buy a house in one of the historic districts down in Charleston. And she got denied. This is Oprah Winfrey. She can buy Charleston cash. Right. You understand? But they ain't selling to her. You understand? Because they love their people. White people put their people first. You understand? They do not serve two masters. They serve one master. Right. And that is their people. And then the Christian church teaches us to serve them. You understand? Matter of fact, how many people familiar with Nat Turner? Familiar with Nat Turner? What was Nat Turner's job title before he rebelled against slavery?
Like, sir, if I can.
Go ahead.
Was he like an overseer?
He wasn't an overseer. Go ahead, Dawda.
Preacher?
He was a preacher. He was a Christian preacher.
Slaves.
And you know, during slavery, what was the black preacher's job? Go ahead.
To keep the slaves. I was trying to figure out the best way to word this, but to keep the slaves from revolting, basically.
Right. That's what they were for. Now, why did they have to do that? Why did they have to? I want somebody else to answer if I could about Kashak. Go ahead.
It's like I said, would it be because so-called slave master told him to?
I mean, yeah, but why would the slave master have to tell him to do that? If you don't know the history, that's fine. I can break it down. Go ahead, Mardak.
Will it be so the slave master won't die?
I mean, that's motivation. That's a good motivator, but all right. So I'll explain. I'll put it to you like this, right? The reason why, you know, in the UPK we kind of do this a lot. Like the reason why the Lord had to tell us to not be a homosexual is because in Egypt they were homosexuals. Right. You understand? Told us not to eat pork because in Egypt we ate pork. You understand? So the white man has to get a pastor to calm down black people from revolting for the same reasons why any person would revolt. Because they're getting gunned down and murdered mercilessly and getting no justice. You understand? Because on those plantations, black people was getting hung and beat. And, you understand? They was treating us like worse than animals. People, they didn't even treat their animals as bad as they treated us. You understand? So the thing is that when they would murder one of us, and black people would be like, he didn't deserve that, they would revolt against they slave masters. You understand? And so their only recourse was to raise up these Christian pastors, and these Christian pastors went out and sung us them lullabies. You understand? Because the whole pastor's job was to stop you from rising up against our oppressors. That was his job, was to convince you to give them another chance. You understand? Meanwhile, they don't give you no chances. You get one chance in America. You understand? And guess what? Even if you don't even break none of the rules, because Botham Jean, he wasn't no thug, so to quote unquote, like how the media try to portray black people. He wasn't no gangster. He was everything America puts in front of a black man to be. And yet he still got murdered, you understand, at the hands of this devil. Still got murdered. He followed the protocol. He followed the platform. Was in the right religion. You know what I mean? Loved the white kind of women. You understand? Dressed the right kind of way. And still, it wasn't good enough. Still, he wasn't rising up against no white man. You understand? He worshiped them white people that surrounded him. He worshiped them, loved them, would cut off his arm if it meant that they got to eat today.
Right.
You understand? And so here's the deal. Read that scripture one more time again from the top. It was Matthew 6:24.
Yes. It's coming up.
Ain't no sweat.
Book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
No man can serve two masters, for he would either hate the one and love the other.
You understand? You either gonna hate the one or you gonna love the other. So black man, we need to think about this. We need to think about this. When I seen that picture, you understand? When I seen that picture, I was disgusted because this is Botham Jean's blood brother hugging the woman that murdered his brother. And the whole time I'm watching the trial, I'm trying to figure out why she killed him. Cause her having the wrong apartment, you understand, ain't a good enough explanation for me. But the truth of it never came out. And even after the truth of it never came out and she got a 10-year sentence, you understand, he still walked up to that dove. He still asked the judge, could he hug this dove? You understand? Could he hug her? You understand? And here's the problem. Had she been a black man, would it have been the same reaction? We know the answer to that.
Right.
You understand? Had it been a black man, it'd have been hatred in all them people's heart. The father would have been you'd have seen the hatred in his eyes. How many times you go on YouTube and you see video after video? You can just go on YouTube and search for it. Courtroom verdict reactions or something like that. Where a father jumps over the bailiff and beats the brakes off some brother for killing his son.
Right.
You understand? How many times have you seen it? You've seen that plenty times, haven't you? Where was that same energy with Amber Guyger?
Right.
Where was that same energy? I'll tell you where that energy was. It was in Matthew 6:24.
Right.
You understand? Well, a man cannot serve two masters. He gonna either love one or hate the other. We as a people, as a whole, we would like to think we got love for both black people and white people. We would like to think that. We would love to think that in our mind. But the truth is far from that. You understand? We do not. We cannot sit here and give Amber Guyger hugs on TV and say we love black people. You understand? Because she is a murderer of black people. You understand? If you love a murderer of your people, you do not love your people. You understand? Right. And here's the problem. That Christian pastor, I didn't catch his pastor's name, but his pastor went up there and made a statement. He is the reason why Botham John is dead. It's his fault. Because he's not teaching the Bible. You understand? He didn't teach Botham the truth. You understand? He taught Botham the same thing that they taught Nat Turner before he flipped on him. You understand? He was following the same protocol that the Christian pastors followed during slavery. You understand? Go back to that scripture that you pulled, Abon, Ecclesiasticus.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
You understand? We are to never trust our enemy. You understand? This is plain as day. This is black and white. It says never trust thine enemy. That is a cold cut to every Christian church on the planet. You understand? Because they hugging these psychopaths every day on the news. You understand? Oh, we forgive you. They always forgive the devil.
Right.
But they hate their brother. You understand? Read on.
Kind of what kind? For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
You understand? It says like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You understand? Iron, one thing for sure, iron is going to rust. That is for sure going to happen. You understand? Because it ain't stainless steel. That is a hunk of metal that is going to rust. An iron cast iron pot, an iron muffler, whatever you got, this iron is going to rust. You understand? And guess what? Our oppressors are going to murder us in the street.
Right.
Our oppressors, because think about it, just look at history. How many times have we tried to join? Think about the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement, right? Commander General YAHANNA, I remember he was saying Commander General YAHANNA, I remember he brought out a story about a child molester. I believe it was in Brooklyn, or it might have been the Bronx. But they said when it got out that this brother was a child molester, the whole community rioted and drugged the man out and beat the brakes off of him, beat the snot out of him. I believe somebody killed him, if I'm not mistaken. So, go ahead.
I think he said they shot him in the leg. something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I want to say somebody did shoot him. I want to say they killed him. I'm not certain. But the point I'm trying to make is it seems like because of the Christian church, we have such a love for our oppressors that black people, even the thugs and the gangsters, they don't go to white neighborhoods and break in houses and steal cars and commit credit card frauds and all. They don't do that in those neighborhoods. You understand? When they see white people, yes sir, ma'am, no sir, ma'am. You understand? They get all uppity and proper. The most staunchest hood nigga. You understand? Get around the devil and just turn into Wayne Brady. You understand? But when it comes to their own brother, this brother's running the streets right now with 10, 12, 15, 25 bodies. You understand? And would never lay a finger on a white man. You understand? Because deep down, our brothers and sisters have a deep-seated hatred for ourselves, for each other. You understand? But we give all of our love to our enemies. Now here's the thing. The scripture says a man cannot serve two masters. So you're going to love one or you're going to hate the other. You can't do it. You understand? So then what did Christ mean when he said to love your enemy? What did he mean by that? Because the Christian church will tell you love your enemy means I'm supposed to go give Amber Guyger a hug after she get found guilty of murdering my brother. That's the Christian church's idea of loving your enemy. But the scriptures say you can't serve two masters. You understand? We're going to love one and hate the other. So what does Christ mean when he say love your enemy? Go ahead.
Is he saying tolerate your enemy?
Tolerate your enemy. But who is your enemy in that scripture?
Your enemy is everyone outside of the nation of Israel.
No.
No?
Anybody else want to give it a shot? Go ahead.
So like, sir, that scripture, YAHANNA was talking about brothers being enemies amongst each other, like gang violence today.
Right. And see, let me ask you a question, right? Who needs to love each other? The white man and the black man and the white man, or the Bloods and the Crips?
Right.
Or the GDs and the Vice Lords?
Right.
You understand? Because if you in a gang, ever been in a gang, or ever know anybody that's in the gang, you should understand what that means when it says to love your enemy.
Right.
You understand? That's not talking about the man who commits mass genocide on an entire nation of people. You understand? When it says to love your enemy, it's talking about amongst Israel. Matter of fact, I want you to go to the book of Luke, Bible Shop. You can go to the book of Luke. And chapter 17, and give me verse 3.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespasses against thee.
If thy who?
If thy brother trespasses against thee.
If the white man.
Thy brother.
If the Chinese man.
Thy brother.
The Arab man.
Thy brother.
Who is thy brother? Go ahead.
Israelites.
Israelites. Who the Israelites? Who the Israelites?
Who the Israelites?
Yeah.
We are the Israelites, to a part of the tribe.
Right. So now read that scripture again.
Come on, take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee.
If another black man or Hispanic man or Native Indian man trespass against thee, read on.
Rebuke him.
Go ahead. Rebuke means, what rebuke means? What does that mean? Go ahead, Rob.
So like, sir, does it mean like correct?
That is correct. It means to correct your brother. You understand? Read on.
And if he repent, forgive him.
If he does what?
If he repent, forgive him.
You understand? So if thy brother trespass against thee, you understand? You're supposed to address it with that man. You understand? You're supposed, if your brother, if another black man trespass against you, you're supposed to address it with that man. Read on.
And if he trespasses against thee 7 times in a day.
So like, read that last part again. Before that part.
And if he repent.
And if he repent. So if your brother trespass against you and he repent, what does it mean to repent? Go ahead.
To change.
It means if he changed, right? If he turns from it. You understand? If he turns away from what he did. Like if he shorted you on his money, on some money, you understand? And you address it with him and he makes it right, then he repented of that trespass. You understand? Read on.
And if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day.
Like if it says, and if he repent.
Slack. Forgive him.
If he repents, if that brother changes, and that brother makes it right, that brother willing to make it right with you, then you're supposed to forgive him. You understand? You're supposed to forgive your brother in that scenario. You understand? Because listen, Christ said this. What did Christ say when they asked him, said, what's the greatest commandment?
It's like, sir.
Go ahead.
Just paraphrasing that you love one another.
Right. Well, he said, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul and all thy might, and love thy brother as thyself.
Right.
For the whole of the law hang on these 2 things. You understand? It said to love your key. The key point I'm bringing out is he say to love thy brother as thyself. You understand? Because, see, here's the deal, right? Ecclesiasticus says, never trust thine enemy. You understand? Never ever trust your enemy. You understand? But all in the Christian church, what are they doing? They trusting our enemies. They putting so much trust in our enemies that to the Christian church, our enemies are God. They are God. That brother hugging Amber Guyger in that courtroom, that is the result of worshiping white Jesus, of worshiping Cesare Borgia. You understand? What they call him, Baby Caesar? Baby Caesar. That's where that come from. You understand? Because they in the Christian church, guess what? They don't serve 2 masters. They don't worship everybody. They worship our oppressors. You understand? And what do they do with us? Prime example. They rob us. You understand? Have y'all seen with T.I., the rapper T.I. was in church with Jamal Bryant? Oh, have y'all seen that? Hey, Jamal Bryant. T.I. showed the church fashionably late after they passed out the collection plate. And Jamal Bryant gets up there on the podium, on the pulpit, and says something like what was it that he said? He basically said, I need 10 rich people to give me $10,000. Something like that. And T.I. was on the front porch, 2 Chainz. I can't remember who else was up there, but you know, and all the rich people was on the front row. So he walks up like, yeah, I'm looking at y'all. I need $10,000 from each one of y'all. And T.I. start mean mugging the pastor because he like, these people scamming us out of our money. You see what I'm saying? And even that right there, yeah, T.I., you know, I ain't gonna necessarily say he was in the right spirit, but at the same time, it took for him to get scammed for him to realize that this church ain't for us, or at least ain't for him. You understand? And so here's the deal, right? That church, these Christian churches, they not only rob black people of their finances, they rob us of our communities.
Right.
They are the reasons why our oppressors are even able to come in and buy up black neighborhoods and gentrify neighborhoods. You understand? Because it's like, I'm from Anderson. How many people ever been to Anderson? You ever drove through Anderson? You done drove through Anderson?
It's been a while.
Sir.
You ever been through the hood in Anderson?
It's been a while.
It is a church on damn near every corner in the hood in Anderson. And you know what? It's drugs right around the corner from every hood. You know, the church I went to, right, if you pull out the driveway of the church and you go straight, you in the trap. You are in the trap. There's prostitutes and crack down that road right there. You understand? And that's all over Anderson. You understand? And you know what happens? The neighborhood just gets worse and worse and worse. And you know what the church happens with the church? The church gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then next thing you know, our oppressors done bought up the whole neighborhood. Renovating the neighborhood, jacking the rent up through the roof. Go ahead, Doc.
So like I was gonna say what you saying. It's so heavy out of one. Where I stayed at in Greenwood, the street that we stayed on is called Summer Street, and it's a church right at the top of the street. Mm-hmm. They had a situation happen down there where some guys came on that same street and did a drive-by, and I think they said it was like over 60 or 70 bullets that was out there on that same street where the church is, right up the street. And a lot of people that don't got killed on that street have got buried right up the street of that same church.
Right there at the church. I mean, the church not only buying up your house and moving you out in the street, they getting paid off of burying you in the ground.
Right.
Good night.
Because funerals cost money, do they not? I ain't never seen a free funeral. You understand? So, you know, the whole point in all of this is that the Christian church, this whole forgiving our oppressors, that is a lie. That is not what Christ taught. You understand? I just showed you what Christ taught. Christ said, if thy brother trespass against thee, forgive him. You understand? If he trespass against you 7 times 70, forgive him. You understand? And guess what? Your brother deserved that forgiveness.
Right.
You understand? He deserved it. Why does he deserve it? Because that is your brother. It's not in his nature to hate you. You understand? But Amber Guyger, it was in her nature to murder Botham Jean. It was in her nature to do that. How do you know? Well, I followed the case, so I can answer this question. But this is how you know it is in her nature to murder people. She had a picture on her Pinterest account. This came out in the trial. She had a picture saved, because you know how cops wear all black, right? You know, cops supposedly they wear all black. She has a picture on her Pinterest to say, I'm not wearing all black because, what did it say? Hold on, let me find it and read it real quick. Go ahead, Doc. Oh, sorry. Let me find that picture real quick. Mardoc, if I can send it to you, you can put it up on the screen? Or I gotta send it to Dawada?
Let me see which one he has up. Shalom. Let's see if we got it. See if we got it still. Oh yeah, that was nice.
All right, I'm gonna send it to Dawada real quick. He held that devil so delicately. Held it like he that brother got one of them good squeezes on that devil.
Just one. I wear all black to remind you not to mess with me because I'm already dressed for a funeral.
Right. Go ahead and read that again. This is what Amber got. This came out in the trial. This is what Amber Guyger had on her profile, her Pinterest her Pinterest. You get what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Her Pinterest profile. You understand? Read this again. Read it nice and loud.
It says, I wear all black to remind you not to mess with me because I'm already dressed for your funeral.
You see that? She says, I wear all black. What does it say? I wear all black
To remind you.
Not to mess with me because I'm already dressed for your funeral. You understand? That's why the scripture says never trust thine enemy.
That's right.
You understand? Never trust thine enemy. And I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you in the Bible why you should never trust your enemy. You understand? You should never do it. Give me Psalms chapter 55. Give me Psalms chapter 55. Because here I sat and watched that devil ball her little golem looking face up. The brother down in Texas had a picture with the baby Grinch. Hey, that was hilarious, man. And the brother had her crying up there with the baby Grinch beside her. She looked just like the baby Grinch. You understand? That was hilarious. But if I could, you got that scripture? You got that? You got Psalms. What I say? Psalms 55. Go to verse 21.
21.
Baba Shah.
Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The word, they were what?
Were smoother than butter.
You understand? The words of our oppressor's mouth, guess what? They smoother than butter. You understand? All the way from the politicians, all the way down to Amber Guyger. You understand? She was saying, what's some of the things? How many people, you know, I'm sure y'all don't know a lot of details, but, you know, did anybody know some of the things she said? Some of her defense? Go ahead.
So like sir, she said that she came on the wrong. She thought that she was on her floor.
You understand? Thought she was on her floor. Go ahead.
And so when she walked into but she was actually on the wrong floor. I think she was supposed to be on the 3rd floor or the 5th floor, but she came. I think it was the 5th floor, but she came down to the 3rd floor because people were starting to park on the 3rd floor because the 5th floor was too packed with cars or something like that.
Right.
So she parked on the 3rd floor and mistaken his apartment for her apartment. And when she seen that the door was kind of cracked open, she assumed that it was somebody that broke into her house.
Now, let me ask you a question, right? If you are a lily white oppressor, you understand? Even if you got a badge in the gun, if you think somebody has broken in your house, do you think that woman would go in there? I don't even think my rib would go in the house with a fully automatic shotgun. You understand? She would stay outside and call me. You understand? Even if she was a trained killer, she would stay outside and call me. You understand? But here's the deal. She so-called seen that the door was cracked open. You understand? Meanwhile, they said it ended up coming out that the doors can't be cracked open. You can't crack them open. What else? They said the doors lock automatically. So they automatically shut, automatically lock. I've seen apartment. I've never been to that apartment, But I've seen apartments like that. You know, when I lived in Atlanta, I lived in a cheap, raggedy hood apartment, but right next to it was like something that was way out my price range. But all them doors closed and locked automatically. It tripped me out because I'm walking in somebody's apartment helping them move a TV, and we left the door open, moving the TV in. Next thing you know, I heard the door slam behind me. I was like, "What the hell is that?" You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly what they talking about. You're not gonna leave that door. You'd had to have something put in the middle of the door in order for, you know what I mean? And then secondly, you on the third, fourth, fifth floor. Who gonna break in your apartment when they can get in an apartment that's on the ground floor? What you got, robbed by Spider-Man? You know what I'm saying? The Avengers breaking in. You understand? Read on.
But war was in his heart.
Read it again from the top.
Come. Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
You know what I'm saying? Amber Guyger words was so smooth. They were so smooth. Even had the fake tears on the man at the courthouse. You understand? Had to, you know, up there talking about it was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. I'm a nice person. Meanwhile, she got pictures on Facebook talking about she wearing all black because it's for your funeral. You understand? It was other things she had up there too, where she was talking about. She had one where it says, I'm trying to think. It was one she had a picture of a minion on it. You know the minions from the little cartoon kids movie. What's it called?
Despicable.
Yeah, the guy looked like the dude from Sonic the Hedgehog. He looked just like him. So it had the minion on it. It said something about people. It says people should be grateful. Go ahead.
I think I found the one. It said, if this is the right one, correct me if I'm wrong.
It said something to stop me from killing people.
It says people are so ungrateful.
Yeah.
It's the one. No one ever thanks me for having the patience not to kill them.
This is on social media. This is the stuff that she's interested in. You understand? She is a psychopath. You understand? Right. She joking about not having to trying not to kill people. You understand?
Yeah.
She's joking about, but yet she stood up there on that trial with her newly dyed blonde hair, with that thick orange makeup on, with the alligator tears, talking about she didn't mean to do it. Mm-hmm. She didn't mean to do it. You understand? Like her words definitely won over the family because they want to give her hugs. Words in her mouth is smoother than butter. You understand? Read on.
But war was in his heart.
But what?
But war was in his heart.
But love.
War was in his heart.
You understand? See, here's the thing. The Bible has every answer to every question that you can have. You understand? Because here's the deal. This right here, this scripture right here is psychology for our oppressor. Go ahead, Al.
It's just some more to that meme as well too.
Go ahead.
It says, "Stay low, go fast, kill first, die last. One shot, one kill, no luck in all skill."
Look at this. This is a murderous beast that was sitting up in that courtroom. You understand? Did you see the picture of her? Like I seen her face in a mugshot, but when I seen her standing up, she looked like a UFC fighter. Like she is not attractive. Like she, you know them UFC girls that be, the muscle women be all built up. That's her. You understand? Just big and ugly, and you know what I mean. Just a murderess. You understand? Talking about stay low, stay fast, kill first, die last. You understand? Read that scripture again now.
Time. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
You understand? She say she uphold the law, protect the innocent. She's supposed to be RoboCop. She's supposed to defend the people. You understand? She's supposed to be the good guy. You understand? But what?
But war was in his heart.
You understand? That's what happened with Botham Jean. With Botham John, Shalaki. That's what happened with this brother. You understand? These devils, you know, we like to think that we can just live amongst these devils. We like to think that we can be neighbors with them. You understand? I live amongst neighbors. I got devils that are my neighbors, and I'm paranoid every day. You understand? That any given moment, one of them devils gonna decide enough is enough. That Israelite bastard got to die, and then that day he gonna have to go see the Most High. You understand? Because even though they sit there and they talk all that love, you know, here's the crazy thing. When I was in the world, this is why I thank the Most High for the UPK, man. Because before I was in the UPK, I was caught up in the world. I didn't see white people as a threat. I seen them as somebody that I could beat the hell out of, and they ain't gonna think Trice gonna try me again.
Right.
That was me in the world. You know what I mean? I just look at them like they was just punks. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally was living that scripture where it says, "Is this the man that caused the earth to tremble?" That was me in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I don't give a damn. You call me, you can be racist all you want to. You not gonna be racist today. You're not gonna be racist right now. You understand? That was me. You understand? But here's the deal, right? They very much are a threat. Like the scriptures say, he beareth not the sword in vain. You understand? He beareth not that sword in vain. You know what I mean? Read that scripture again, up.
Come. Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
You understand? But war was in these devils' hearts. You understand? War was in Amber Guyger. War was in Amber Guyger's heart. You understand? She's supposed to be a protector of the people. Suppose she's supposed to so-called swore an oath. She's supposed to protect Botham John. If anything, she should have been his first line of defense, being that that's his neighbor and she's a cop. You understand? That he's supposed to feel safe. Oh, I'm safe. I got a cop right there. You understand? But she had war on her heart. And it wasn't no damn accident. Because they found her guilty of murder. Which meaning that was not an accident.
Right.
You understand? That was not a oops. You know how the white girls do. Oops. Go ahead.
So like I said, I believe I got a good scripture that fits exactly what those memes, exactly how she was feeling.
Go ahead,
but it was just in that same chapter of Psalms right here.
Go ahead. Pull it up.
Book of Psalms chapter 55 verse 3. Because of the voice of thy enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and wrath they hate me.
Right. You understand? And that right there, read it again.
Come. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me.
You understand? That's exactly what the defense tried to do. That's what they tried to do with Botham John. The first thing they started talking about when they found their brother dead, he got weed in his apartment.
Right.
You understand? Let's find out. You know, they got a search warrant for his apartment. God damn. Like, we need a search warrant for this woman's psychology report.
That's right.
That's what we need.
Yeah, right.
You understand? That's what they need a warrant for. But they treating this brother like he was a criminal, lot. They treated this brother like he was a criminal in his own. How are you a criminal in your own goddamn house? How are you the murder victim and you under investigation?
Right.
Good, man.
You understand? They tried to find, and this is why, because they tried to find whatever reason they could. You understand? They tried to find whatever reason that they could. You understand? To justify that murder. Go ahead, Doc.
And somebody said, if I can,
Go ahead.
the reports came back that he didn't even have any drugs in his system.
Wow. Imagine that. When did that report come out?
I forgot they was talking about it. They said that they found that he didn't even have any.
Can you bring that? Can you find that?
What was the brother's name again?
Botham is B, like Gotham with a B.
Botham Jean.
Right. And here's another thing that disgusts me about this whole trial. Is his so-called best friend. You understand? His best friend was a white woman. And the way all the rhetoric was going, and when the interview, she showed some text messages that both of them had sent her. And this is the part that stood out to me. She was his best friend, meaning that in his life, in his world, that was his most trusted, most beloved friend. That was his number one, his ace boom coon. You understand? But in her world, you know what she called him? I already told her, Bun. I'm telling you, I watched this whole thing. You understand? And I was disgusted after discussion. I don't even know if discussion is even a word, but I went through multiple levels of disgustivity. I'm just making up words today. I'm gonna tell you what she said, brother. She was his best friend, and he was her black friend. She said this in court, on the stand. That, yeah, he was my black friend, both of them. I always called him my black friend, both of them. And blah, black friend. I heard black friend, both of them about 100 times come out of her mouth. And he even referred to himself as her black friend. You understand? He was the token black guy amongst his little circle of friends. You understand? That just goes to show you he was so far removed from black society that he was that one black friend in a sea of devils. You understand? You found that out?
I believe that this is the one. This is the KTLA 5 down there in Dallas.
Right.
It says, I believe this is the article you're looking for, sir. Dallas officer accused of killing neighbor had no drugs or alcohol in system.
Read that again, huh?
Dallas officer accused of killing neighbor.
It said Dallas officer accused of killing neighbor.
Had no drugs or alcohol in system.
There you go. Botham Jean wasn't even on drugs. And she claimed she smelled marijuana. That's what she claimed she smelled. I wouldn't even be surprised if the brother never even had sex before. Right. You know, the type of brother this was. You know what I'm saying? He would go ahead.
So her, upon her smelling weed, gives her justification to murder him in his own household.
Well, see, this is the part. I'm not a lawyer, so I some of the stuff when it got real boring, I stopped watching it. But she did smell marijuana, but they did not. I don't think they found. They didn't. Did they find marijuana or I don't know. But both of them didn't have no drugs in the system in the autopsy. So he wasn't a drug addict. He wasn't using marijuana or anything like that. But here's the thing. I think she brought up the weed stuff. I don't even know. Her whole defense was confusing to me. Because she so-called thought it was her apartment. She went into the apartment because the door was cracked open. She saw, all she seen was a silhouette. What? I don't know. I don't never walk around my house with the lights off. You know, one of my biggest fears since coming into the truth, my biggest fear is getting checked by General Muhammad. My second biggest fear is stumping my toe in the dark.
Right.
You understand? I can't do that. I'm too tall. If I trip over something, I'm going down. You understand? I'm going down. That's why if you come to my house, ain't nothing in the way. Ain't nothing in the way. Right. Because if I hit something little, I'm going overboard. I'm going down. Down goes Frazier. You understand? But think about it. It don't even make sense. The brother was walking around his own apartment with the lights off. What was he doing? Dancing in the dark? Like what he had going on? And then I think, what was he doing? Sitting on the couch?
Eating something.
Eating ice cream.
Your kind.
Sitting on the couch. I hate to laugh. You know, I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of her defense. Mm-hmm. You understand? The brother was sitting on the couch eating ice cream. How? And then she shot him while he was sitting down. That came out in court. He wasn't running or coming to her. You understand? He was sitting down when he got shot. Go ahead, Doc.
Like the memes and all that stuff say, she was ready to kill something.
She was ready to kill.
She was ready to kill.
She was ready to kill. Go ahead, Doc.
And like, if I could, of course, these are just accusations. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were saying that they had something going on. And, you know, so I mean, these are just accusations. And I'll never forget when Jeremiah has said, you understand, like, we will sleep with him once, but never again will we sleep with him twice. Right. You understand? And of course, you understand, like, the accusation, it's just accusations, you know what I'm saying? But she was probably mad because he wasn't banging in the motion. So, like, of course, it's just accusations, none valid on that just yet, but, you know, her motives may have been led by something else. Because,
I've been suspecting that since the day I found out it was a white woman cop and a brother that got shot. First words out my mouth was, they sleeping around. They messing around. You understand? But, you know, of course, that hadn't been confirmed. You know, I was thinking if it was happening, it would have came out in trial, but so like, I don't think they even found no kind of communications between the two. You understand? And you know, she didn't have no motive. Right. You know, not motive, but you know, who knows what the situation was. You know what I mean? She might have just came home drunk one night. He came home drunk one night, and then they just happened to be like, "Oh yeah, we live in the same building. I live upstairs. You live downstairs. Come on over." Yada yada yada. Bada bing, bada boom. You understand? And then next thing you know, he like, yeah, I was drunk that night. Don't come to my house no more. You understand? And so, you know, ain't no telling what could have went down. You understand? And she wasn't attracted by any. She looked like a treasure troll.
Ooh,
right. You understand? Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was pretty much it, sir. I mean, of course, you know, like I said before, it's just accusation, but I mean, ain't no white. I mean, Shalaya. I mean, not any woman. You know what I'm saying? And mainly white women, because you had brought out. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple classes ago that white or oppressors women, they want our black men because they want them to feel themselves as better than a black woman.
Right.
So I mean, just kind of ties in, but of course, you know, just accusations and, you know, just a bunch of people talking pretty much. So,
right.
Just want to bring that up.
You know, and that is definitely right. And I tell you what, almost every, and I say almost because there are some that don't, but in almost every interracial relationship, it ends in some form of violence.
Right.
You understand? It always does. And whether it's the wife killing, and most most of our precious marriages end in violence. So, you know, it's just in their nature, you know. That's like a double whammy. You got the husband trying to kill the wife while the wife trying to kill the husband. Go ahead, Doc.
So why you say that, I don't want it. Remember General YAHANNA brought out a case like that where the husband was going with the sister and he cut her brake line.
Our oppressor is the goddamn devil, man. You understand? Like at least with a black woman, the worst you might get is child support.
Right.
You understand? You might get cracked across the head with something, but oppressor, oh man, you might be like, get that hi honey dear for a whole year straight and got the Kool-Aid on deck every day with that antifreeze on in it. You understand? Because you know that's how a lot of them housewives, you know, got a lot of them inheritance with that antifreeze. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Something like the 6 cent pour that pine salt in the damn soup.
Who said that?
That was on the 6 cent with the Edomite woman.
She poured pine salt in the soup.
It was something like pine salt or something poison, but she was pouring it in the little girl's soup until she died off.
Good night. Good night, man. These devils is something else, man. They is something else, man. You understand? And that's why it's so dangerous. You understand? To go to the Christian church, because what did the Christian church do? You understand? Here's how they do it. You know, a lot of people go to church at a time where they are emotionally. What's the word I'm looking for? At a time when they are emotionally and mentally vulnerable. You understand? Because think about it. Anytime you ever yourself as a black man went to church, it was because you was going through something.
Right.
You like, man, I'm going to go ahead on up there. You know what I mean? You know how it go. You get your little suit on and, you know what I mean, walk up in that thing. You know what I mean? Be half asleep halfway through the service, but you know you're trying to get out of this situation, so you're gonna hold it down for the Lord, or so you think. You know what I mean? But the Christian church, it's like it's like people call on the church when they going through something, and then the church tells you to love your oppressors. You understand? To love them. You know, forgive them. Don't be mad about slavery. Don't be mad about this. You know, don't blame our oppressors for this. You got to blame it on us. It's our fault. We got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Right. They blame it on the black man. It's the black man's fault. You understand? What's that? The black on black violence, gun violence in the black community? They blame that all on black men. You understand? Like we in the garage with metal and cast molds, making firearms in the you know what I mean, in the garage. Like, right. yeah, I'm gonna make this AK and I'm gonna ride on them niggas. You understand? We not the ones dumping the guns in the ghetto. We don't have not one gun manufacturer in the black community. You understand? We might have a small company somewhere that manufacture, but we don't have none of that. You understand? So, but yet our oppressors will blame us. You understand? Blame black men for all that violence. You understand? They will blame us. They will hold us accountable. They will protest in the black neighborhood against black people. But when it comes to Amber Guyger, oh no. She got to get a good old hug. One of them good hugs. You seen the hug? Come on now. That was the most disgusting thing. Gave her the most sensual hug. Like, you know what I mean? Held her by the back of the head and all that. You know what I mean? And she kissed him on the cheek. Like, oh, thank you so much for not being mad at me for murdering your brother. You understand? Like, come on, Doc.
Murder.
You understand? That is because of the Christian church.
Right.
That ain't righteousness.
Damn right.
You understand? That is not righteousness. You understand? So, now here's the deal. Both of them, she I don't even know how whole drug thing came into play. But go ahead.
It's like, sir, his neighbor across the hallway from him said that.
Oh, Salaki, both of them did smoke weed. He did smoke weed because his neighbor said that he used to smoke with him. Go ahead.
That's why I was kind of confused.
Yeah,
I seen that, but then they said that they didn't find nothing in his system. So
I mean, his system may have been clean. You know, he might have been one of them people that smoke from time to time or something like that. You know what I mean? He might have been an occasional drug.
Right.
You know, when he gets sad, you know, he goes to spark up a J.
drugs on Sundays.
Yeah, drugs. Go to church on Sunday, high on Friday. You know what I'm saying? You know, he could have been, you know, one of them brothers that barely, you know, did anything like that. But, you know, but the neighbor apparently did say that he used to smoke. So yeah, he right. He was a. Go ahead.
Oh no, sure.
Oh, you just looked like you looked like you had some input. But yeah. His neighbor did say they used to smoke. So I did remember seeing that. You know what I mean? So yeah, he definitely was on that dope bag. You know what I mean? Anybody got any other questions, anything like that? Any questions in the room, in the chat?
No, some brother got some comments that we've been talking about as far as the case.
Go ahead.
War YAHANNA said, Shalom, yes sir, she can be paroled in 5 years. And then Jermaine Jones said she can also get 3 just off good behavior, but hopefully she will hang herself in there.
Mm-hmm. Right. So like if I could, I think they was bringing it out in the when I was watching the thing. Like they recently changed the law in Texas where, cause what they was trying to do is the defense was trying to get her 10 years or less, because what they was gonna do, of course, they were gonna file for an appeal, but they was gonna try to do an appeal bond, and that appeal bond got denied. And what an appeal bond is, basically they file for an appeal, and she gets out of jail before the appeal bond. But for a murder charge, I think it's like you have to serve 85% of your time before you eligible for parole. So she would have to do like 8.5 years. I think she would have to do at least 8.5 years before she can get out. But then again, you know, the oppressor is the devil, the Bible speaks. Right, she can get out tomorrow. Right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you remember when it was talking about the castle doctrine?
Yeah, they ended up the stand your ground doctrine.
Right.
I think they ended up throwing that out because I can't remember why the judge threw that out. Oh, because he didn't do anything to provoke her. And because he didn't do anything to provoke her, they couldn't have given her, you know, they couldn't have gotten off with the castle doctrine, because that's like your stand your ground law. You understand? That's like you defending yourself against an attacker. But he was sitting on the couch. Right. And it was his house. Go ahead.
So like, I didn't know they was trying to like use that for her, like the castle doctrine. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The defense tried, man, listen. The defense tried to do a lot of things. You know, I was disgusted with the defense, man. Like they tried to get the Pinterest stuff thrown out of court. They was like, yeah, you know that stuff when she talking about killing people. Yeah, let's get that let's put an objection in there for that. We don't think they should use that in court. Go ahead.
Somebody said, they had the same judge through the whole case, right? And sister.
That was the same judge that they found guilty, but in her case, I think it's a Texas thing. The jury is the one that found her guilty. The judge didn't find her guilty. The jury found her guilty. And then the jury is the one that decided to give her 10 years. And they decided that in a damn hour. Took them an hour. They didn't expect a sentence until tomorrow. But in 1 hour, they came back. It was like 10 years. You understand? I was like, good night. Like, I'd have been on that jury like 99. 99. The full maximum. You understand? Go ahead.
So like I would have been 400 years.
Plus.
400. Plus. You understand? Now here's the thing, right? America. I'm a give me Job 9 and 30. Was it 9 and 3? Job 9 and 3 or 9 and 13? Or 9 and 4.
The earth is given to them.
Yeah. Was it Job 9? It might be 13. Nope, I'm wrong. What is that? What scripture is that? The earth is given?
9:24.
9:24. Yeah, give me that. Give me that scripture out.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Read it again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
You understand? The earth, this is how you know that we are living in a wicked society. You understand? Amber Guyger got 10 years for murder. 10 years for murder. And she's what? Old. I don't know. She look like she's 50. You understand? Her mama look 100. Have you seen her mama?
Yeah, I seen the mama.
One thing,
like
one thing I learned watching that trial is black do not crack. Black don't crack. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna see if I can pull up an image of her mom because they had her like compared to like some type of old creature off of what was it, like Star Wars or like man, what is it, man?
Yeah, I tried to make one with Golem from Lord of the Rings, but my phone was tripping.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the one.
Did I finish that? Did I post that? Yeah, I tried to post it to that little racist group that they run into.
But I'm about to try to pull it up here. So
And then a sister posted in that little racist group. She said, I am on Amber's legal team, and in order to fight this injustice, we need donations. Please consider donating to Cash App. She put a Cash App. But sister know damn well she ain't know. Hey, I think somebody scammed somebody. Didn't one of the sisters that scammed? She made millions. Talking about she was a Donald Trump supporter. And they donated millions. I don't think it was millions, but I know it was a whole lot of money.
Did she get to keep the money? Or she got to turn it over?
They probably kept that. You fake, you pretending to hate your own people.
yeah, she's man. I found the image of the mom.
The mom.
The mother looked like a hairless cat.
Who the speech? Who the speech?
She definitely, she definitely, looked like she didn't live through the Holocaust. You understand? She survived the gas chambers.
Dang, construction worker.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the deal, right? So the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. We not living in a society that's gonna give us justice. You understand? Amber Guyger went in this apartment and murdered this brother. Gunned him down in his own house. You understand? And the only person that really know what happened is both of them. He the only one. I mean, what we gotta set up cameras inside our own house now. You understand? Is that what we need to do? You understand? And they still covered up so much. It was so much that did not come out in that trial that I was waiting on to come out. That did not come out. You understand? It's like they didn't even investigate to see if they knew each other. They just left that alone. Did you notice that?
I can say what I can.
Go ahead.
Because when they first started off, I heard the same thing. Officer Mark Duncan said that they were a guard in a relationship. I heard the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that, and I talked to some brothers that live down in Dallas, not brothers in the school, just brothers in the world that live in Dallas. One of the brothers that I spoke to actually is familiar with that apartment complex, knows about them doors and how they lock because they used to work at that apartment complex, and has talked to or had conversations with Amber Guyger, has seen her, and say she was old hottie thotty, old dot box, old dot pocket. Extra mayonnaise.
Extra mayonnaise.
Extra little mayonnaise dot pocket. You understand? And so, it ain't no telling. Ain't no telling, you know what I mean? But here's the deal, right? You understand? This earth, this nation that we under, they not gonna try her to the fullest extent of the law.
Right.
Like they did TK. You understand? They did, and I'm gonna keep speaking about TK. I know TK was wrong for what he did, but God damn it, if Amber Guyger can get 10 years, TK should be he should get 10 years. You understand? Because here's the difference. TK is not a trained police officer who swore an oath to protect people's lives. You understand? That's like a doctor that molests children. You a doctor. Children are supposed to trust you, but yet you molest and destroy these children's lives. You should, because you have that authority, you should get the maximum penalty. You understand? It's like a Christian priest, like a Catholic priest. They don't even, how many times you done heard about a Catholic priest molesting 150,000 kids, and the worst thing that happened to him, you get transferred? That's what happens all in the Christian church. You understand? Now here's the deal. In this society, in our oppressive society, you can be a doctor and molest kids. You can be a lawyer like that. What was that? Sister Centoria Brown. He was a real estate guy. She killed a man that kidnapped her. Well, it's like he didn't kidnap her. She was already kidnapped, held hostage for years, used as a sex slave, as a prostitute, pimped out like a prostitute. And then she was sold to this real estate agent to be his sex slave. And she killed him to be free. And you know what they did? They charged her, they convicted her, found her guilty of murder. You understand?
Right.
Read that scripture again from the top up. Job 9:24.
It's like the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. It's like, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
You understand? This whole earth is given to the hand of the wicked. You understand? That's how you know. That's why Centoria Brown's sitting in prison right now.
Right.
You understand? For murdering her oppressor. That's why Botham John is dead right now, and his murderer only got sentenced to 10 years. You understand? I know a brother right now that didn't even commit the same amount of crimes that she committed. And he went to court, and you know what? He didn't even fight the charge. He pleaded guilty and got 20 years. What's the brother named Shotty? With the 9 Trey Bloods in New York. Pleaded guilty to racketeering. Not guilty to murder. He pleaded guilty. What was the charge? I think it was racketeering. Was there anything else? Or was it just racketeering?
I know it was racketeering. I just seen it yesterday. I forgot what they charged him with.
Yeah, I think it was just racketeering. Charged him with racketeering. And he pleaded guilty and and got 15 years.
God, my.
You understand? Amber Guyger took it to trial. She took it to court. You take it to trial, they supposed to, like, the plea deal is supposed to be the shorter terms. You understand? You're supposed to get a shorter term for a plea deal. And when you take it to court, they supposed to give you the maximum. Because they gonna hit you across the head because you should have plead out.
Damn right.
That's how they typically do. But she did not plead out. You understand? She didn't take no plea deal. She fought. Go ahead.
It was racketeering and narcotics offenses, sir.
15.
What is assault with a deadly weapon in them charges?
Lies, sir.
Is murder in them charges?
Lies, sir.
Amber Guyger got charged with murder. She got found guilty. Shotty pleaded guilty and got 15 years. Amber Guyger murdered a man in cold blood in his own house. Went into his house and shot him in the heart. And she got 10 years.
10.
You understand? She did the same thing TK did. TK got 55 years. Go ahead, Alex.
Like, sir, he didn't shoot nobody.
And he did. Brian keep throwing that up because, hey, the water, because he's right. TK didn't shoot nobody. And got 55 years at 17 years old. Amber Guyger, come on, man. She old. You know what I mean? She looked like she about 10 years younger than her mama. Old and ugly and wrinkled. Got wrinkles in the wrinkles.
Finished.
You understand? Even her neck muscles got wrinkles in them. You understand? Amber Guyger, man, she old and decrepit, and she a so-called officer of the law.
Right.
You understand? You mean to tell me this is somebody who's supposed to know the law, supposed to know the protocols when you come home and you think somebody in your house? She's somebody who's supposed to know that. You understand? And she is not held at a higher standard than TK, who does not know. You understand? Who does not know? Read on. Job 9:24. You gotta hold the scriptures out.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Read on.
If not, where and who is he?
You understand? If our oppressor ain't the wicked on the earth, who is? Who is? You understand? If our oppressors is not the wicked on the earth, then who is?
Right.
You understand? Because we living here in America right now. So like I just seen that picture of that devil, so like you understand? And if our oppressors ain't the wicked, then who is the wicked? Is the black man the wicked? You understand? Because you ask the world, they'll tell you the black man is evil and disgusting. You go ask your Christian pastor, he gonna tell you the black man is wicked and needs to change.
Right.
You understand? But yet Amber Guyger, we forgive her. His brother said, I don't even want you to go to jail.
Right.
You understand? I wish I could pull that clip up. You understand? I wish I could pull that clip up. I'm not Commander General YAHANNA, so I'm not as skilled as the general in bringing out things. But you know what I mean? But that's the thing, man. We are living in the land of the wicked. You understand? This whole earth is given unto the wicked. And how do we know that? Because Amber Guyger was a police officer, and she did not get held at a higher standard for being someone that knows better.
Right.
You understand? Versus someone who has no idea. You understand? Matter of fact, I want you to give me Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29 and verse 2. Is that what it is? No. Go ahead.
You talking about Lamentations?
No, Proverbs 29, verse 2.
Read that one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Shaw.
Come on, sir. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
You understand? Read that again.
Verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
You understand? Is both of them John's family rejoicing right now?
La sir.
You understand? It's the brothers and sisters in the Bahamas rejoicing right now. You understand? The crack babies in the ghetto, are they rejoicing right now? You understand? So what does that mean? That means that the righteous do not bear rule. Because in a righteous kingdom, you understand, namely the I.S.U.P.K, as an officer, we are given that position because we know better. You understand? So because we know better, we are held at a higher standard than someone who is not an officer. You understand? In a righteous kingdom, you are held accountable because you know better.
Damn right.
You understand? But in a wicked kingdom, if you know better, that means you the right bloodline, you slide on through the cracks. You understand? Because I tell you what, there was sisters. Now, it was all sisters that was doing this, but after that sentencing, when they gave that sister that thing, gave that double 10 years, them sisters was out there heartbroken about that. You know what I'm saying? Because both of them wasn't nothing but 26 years old. That was a young man, 26 years old. You understand? Got gunned down by some old funky lady cop. You understand? And so here's the deal. We do not live in no righteous kingdom. You understand? We live under a wicked kingdom.
Right.
Our oppressors are the wicked and the devil according to the Bible. You understand? And in a nutshell, to sum everything up, it goes against the Lord to forgive your enemies, to love your oppressors. You understand? Because it's us, it's our own people who need that love. It's our own brothers and sisters who need that forgiveness. You understand? We should forgive, we should come, and the more we forgive each other, guess what? The more we come together. You understand? And guess what? The more we come together, then the more we can police our own neighborhoods, which is what we should be doing.
That's right.
You understand? We should be separated from our oppressor so that we can govern ourselves, just like we did in Black Wall Street. You understand? Black Wall Street, we built an economy that was stronger than the American economy at the time. You understand? America going through the Great Depression while we sitting over there flying airplanes. You know what I mean? Drinking mojitos. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know this, but Black Wall Street, you had two tribes that came together to do that. You had the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Gad that both came together to build Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You understand? And we did what the Lord wanted us to do. We separated unto ourselves. Mm-hmm. You understand? And that's what we need to do, man. That's the only answer. We listen to Martin Luther King. We listen to Malcolm X. We listen to Tupac. We listen to Michael Jackson. We listen to T.I., Killer Mike, David Banner. And they all trying to change the system. You understand? But read that scripture again.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
You want to change the system? Change who rules over you. You understand? Right now, you want to serve our oppressor and try to make his system fit more for you? Guess what? You still going to be ruled over your oppressor.
Damn right.
And your oppressor is still the wicked on this earth. Mm-hmm. You understand? Read on.
But when the wicked bear rule.
But when the who?
the wicked beareth rule.
You understand? When the wicked beareth rule, if we want to change the world, we want to change the world for black people, then it's time for us to care about black people. It's time for us to not put, we want to give all these hugs and kisses to people, to these devils that kill our brothers and sisters.
Right.
Come on, man. You see, they brought out the text messages of that devil. So I know we're running over, but they brought out the text messages of that devil, where she said that she basically admitted she was racist in the text message. She didn't admit it, but they pulled her text message record and seen all the text messages where she was basically being racist, saying she said herself she was racist. You understand? Talking down on other black police officers. You understand? And you know what? You got the black police officer fixing the devil head on the stand, hugging the devil, giving her the Bible. Oh yeah, it seems like they feel worse for the devil than they do for the brother's family.
That's right.
You understand? Didn't give not one Bible over there to both them families, but went over there and broke down scripture. Pussy, I want you to read the book of Job. That's what the judge told that devil, man. I want you to read the book of Job. You understand? But read that scripture one more time for me out from the top.
Come. Book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
You understand? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You understand? One day, black men gonna rule this earth. Mm-hmm. You understand? And guess what? It's a lot of black people who don't even want to see that. You understand? You ever heard that pastor? What's his name? What's his church name? What's the church? It's like Atlan, something like that. It's like a church up in New York. If you ever find this devil, it's like he's not a devil. If you ever find this brother videos, he is literally the real life Uncle Ruckus. Like he's a pastor.
Man.
But he like, black folk don't need no own their own country. What you think black folks gonna do? Hey, that's him. He's a real life Uncle Ruckus. You understand? But one day, black people is gonna rule over this earth, man. We're gonna rule over every nation. The way our oppressors rule this earth now, one day it's gonna be blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
Ruling over this whole earth.
Come.
You understand? We are God's chosen people.
Right.
We are the ones that God gave his laws, statutes, and commandments to. We are the ones prophesied to rule over this earth according to the Bible. We're the ones prophesied. So we are the righteous. When we rule over this earth, the white man gonna thank us for it.
Right.
He gonna thank us. The Arab man gonna thank us for it. Because right now everybody getting murdered left and right. Victims of genocide left and right. You understand? So when we in authority, the world is going to rejoice behind that. Read on.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
You understand? Botham John's mother, matter of fact, his father. I watched his father give a testimony. I ain't cried in a long time. I cried today when I seen that's his father get up on that stand. You understand? Because you could tell that brother really invested heavily in his son from the day his son was born. You understand? He took care of him from a baby by himself because his wife had to go to college. He took care of the baby by himself. Bathed the baby, fed the baby, took the baby to his mama's house when he went to work, came home from work, picked the baby up and spent all his time with his son. Spent all of it with his son. You understand? And he broke down crying on the stand. He held himself pretty strong, but he cried on the stand, and that hit me, man. You understand? Because that brother is gonna mourn the rest of his life for being and to not be able to see his son ever again. You understand? And with that, the Israelite School of the University of Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelite group. If it's not of the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA, it is not of the Most High. And pay your tithes. Shalom.